Seriously, what if the force keeping you tethered to this planet right now isn't actually a pull at all? What if our basic, everyday sense of up, down, and falling is just a grand cosmic illusion?
Section 1. Newton's magical pole.
So, to wrap our heads around this massive paradigm shift, we actually need to look back at Sir Isaac Newton first. When he published his famous book, The Principia, he gave us this really elegant mathematical explanation. He said gravity is basically a force of attraction, pulling objects toward each other based on their mass. And, for centuries, we all just accepted gravity as this instant, invisible force acting across a massive void. The math was beautiful, sure, but it completely ignored the how. Like, how is it pulling us? Well, enter Albert Einstein. He totally flipped this view on its head, suggesting that gravity isn't some magical force reaching out through emptiness at all, but rather the bending of space-time itself.
Which brings us to Section 2. The fabric of space-time.
Okay, so before Einstein even tackled gravity directly, he kind of had to rewrite the rules of reality through his theory of special relativity. By proving that the speed of light is constant no matter how fast you're moving, he totally shattered the classical view of reality. He realized that space isn't just this passive, empty void, and time isn't just an independent, ticking clock in the background. Instead, and this is wild, they are permanently, inextricably interwoven into a single, connected fabric: space-time.
Section 3. Bending the universe.
Right, so once Einstein established that the universe is made up of this woven fabric of space-time, he had his next massive realization. He figured out that really heavy objects, like our Earth, the Moon, the Sun, they actually altered the physical geometry of that fabric. We can use a classic mental model to visualize how this works. Just picture a tightly stretched trampoline. That's our space-time. Now, if you place a really heavy bowling ball right in the center, let's call that the Sun, it naturally creates this deep dip, right? Then roll a much smaller marble, representing a planet, near the edge, and watch it spiral inward. But here is the absolute secret to all of this. That marble isn't spiraling inward because of some mysterious invisible tug. No way. It's moving like that simply because of the curve of the surface itself. I mean, this completely shifts our entire worldview. Planets aren't being tugged around by an invisible leash. What you and I are physically experiencing right at this very moment, feeling anchored to the floor, isn't actually a downward pull at all. Literally, it's just us naturally following the curved geometry of the universe, which is being warped by the incredibly massive planet right beneath our feet.
Moving to Section 4. Proof of the curve.
Now, you might be thinking this is just some highly theoretical math from back in 1915, right? Actually, no. Scientists have found absolutely undeniable real-world evidence proving Einstein was spot on about this curvature. We see it out in the cosmos, where supermassive black holes warp space-time into these deep, inescapable pits. But amazingly, it also plays out right in your pocket. The GPS satellites orbiting Earth literally rely on general relativity to even function. Since they're farther out in space, they experience slightly less gravity, which means, and this is mind-blowing, time literally ticks faster for them than it does for us down on the ground. Without engineers making constant mathematical adjustments for this time-bending relativity, your phone's map app, it would fail instantly.
Okay, before we wrap this up, it's kind of fun to look at the human being behind all this mind-bending physics. We usually just picture Einstein as this unassailable genius who is naturally gifted at, well, absolutely everything. But here's a question for you. Did the brilliant mind who literally rewrote the rules of the universe actually pass all his college entrance exams?
Surprisingly enough, no, he didn't. I mean, sure, he naturally aced the science and math portions of the test, but Einstein actually failed several other subjects. We're talking history, languages, geography, failed them. It's just a really fantastic reminder that genius comes in many different forms, Even the guy who unlocked the fundamental structure of the cosmos had subjects he struggled with, just like the rest of us.
So, the next time you step outside and look up at the sky, I really want you to hold on to this thought. You are standing on a cosmic fabric. Try to realize that you aren't just being pulled down by some invisible mundane magnet. You are resting securely upon the beautifully curved geometry of the universe itself, laid down by the immense mass of the planet beneath your feet. It's incredible, right? And it really leaves you wondering, if the empty space around us isn't just an empty void, but an interactive, physical fabric, what other hidden structures of the universe are we completely unaware of?